I have a very clear memory of the day I left Brazil. I stood on the boat. We left by ship. We came all the way to Singapore by ship, and waving to my cousin who was at the docks, who was my best friend at the time, until we could really no longer see each other. And there followed a period of great unhappiness. I went through cultural shock and depression, and my strong feeling, and as I speak about it now, I feel what I felt then, a real sense of loss of identity at that time. And that wasn't helped when I would say to people in very broken English, because I spoke English very badly at the time, I would say that I came from Brazil, and people would ask me, well, whereabouts in Africa is that? So, yeah, the predominant memory is one of loss of identity. And now I'm happy because I have two identities, a Brazilian and an Australian identity.
I'm in Australia 8.5 years. Coming here was I think 3 in the afternoon. It was dark. I thought, why is dark? It was cold. It was really, really cold. And my house was very open. Like I have big garden. My mom have island, so everything is open. You come here to live in the flat. It was so small. It was hard to start speaking English, meet people, go out or do shopping. Simple things like go in the shop or wash clothes was completely strange for me.
My parents are Chinese. Their background is Chinese acrobats, and they arrived in Australia and traveled in a tour. They couldn't actually stay here because of the White Australia policy. I was born, and then we had to go. I left here when I was 2, traveled around the world, arrived in Brazil when I was 6. At 25, I came back to Australia. Same status of migrant, and had to learn the language fairly quickly. I struggled quite a lot with racism. I struggled with people not being able to handle, multi-dimensions of a person.
There's no one Brazilian character, but if you had to draw a contrast with Australians, I would say in general Brazilians were more extroverted than we are here in Australia, especially in terms of one-to-one contact or in family groups. They're much more connected to their family and to their friends than we tend to be.
Brazilians are very happy people, very strong. I respect very, very much Brazilian, not only because I have all the experience. I'm Brazilian. I think the people is very strong. You're always very happy because it's very hard to get in Brazil to work, go to school, for most of the people to eat. The people is always happy.
I have some friends that tell me as soon as I connect with some Brazilians, I get more animated, I just go more expressive. There is a level of cultural permission for expressiveness without actually pathologizing this person, what's going on, you're manic. So that is one of the things that is the best about the Brazilian culture for me, that I have a space of exhaling. I can exhale, when I'm among my kind.
These festivals or cultural performances are a key part of enhancing our capacity to communicate with each other.
Acknowledgement, visibility. I think that for every community in Australia, we need visibility. We need to be seen, heard, and met. And I think that celebrating immigration of a specific country, there is a space of being good for it. Okay, we value you, and it's not by word of mouth. It is we are actually acting on acknowledgement and respect by doing this, and by celebrating it.
try to keep some Brazilian friends here, and when it's good weather, we always do barbecues, which is a really big thing for our culture.
Sweets depend where you are from. So because the variety of our population, we are very diverse. So we've got Africans, we've got our indigenous, European, and so we got that mixture of everyone. And then we depend where you live, it's a different kind of sweets.
Quero mais ficar com você, eu faço tudo viver de todo amor. Vida vem e traz a dor, eu fico com você de todo amor.
Australia has a huge migration history, but it is actually quite new. So cultures are still maintaining themselves within their own grouping a little bit stronger. But in Brazil, for example, there's huge intermarriage, and therefore the culture become one.